I think it will be next week. There are a lot of things that have been said. Pesa ilisha mfukoni ndio kwa maana amekata trip short. You never know. Anyway, to help us get a grip of what is happening in the country, I have some three gentlemen here. I have Robert Makoha. Robert Makoha is the Nakuru Grassroots Assembly's president and youth leader. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
And Sankara Victor, who is the chairperson of Ford Kenya Kasarani. Karibu.
Thank you, Fred, for having me today.
And kama kawaida tuko na Matthew Wasonga. He's a political commentator, and in 2027 he's going to be, he's vying for a position in, this Kajiado?
Yes.
In Kajiado. Kwa hivyo kuna maneno inafanyika. So these are guys who are deep into the political stuff. Some of them sit with people that a majority of us probably are looking forward to sit with to get to hear what happens around. Let's start with the corruption ball. In the course of this week, when President William Ruto, he has had quite a number of meetings, and I heard him talking about corruption, which was, let me say, it was a breath of fresh air, in the sense that we've had so many corruption scandals happening in this country, and some of them allegedly by his close associates. But he spoke up and fired a warning shot at the National Assembly or Parliament itself, saying, you know, there's a lot of corruption in Parliament and also judiciary. And there are a number of MPs who are not happy with the president accusing them of corruption, and they had very, in some cases, unpalatable things to say about him. I don't know who's going to bite. Maybe we can start with you, Sankara.
Yes. Okay, you know, Fred, corruption is an issue that is very serious in this country. It's something that actually takes out the substance of the nation and concentrates these resources in one person's bank account at the expense of others. But now tackling this corruption should not just be something sentimental. It should be issue-based. Let's look at how this corruption operates. Because the president coming out and saying that there is corruption in parliament and in the judiciary, it's something that it's partially true. Because actually corruption has two sides. We have the receiving side and the giving side. But the president should not exonerate the executive from this corruption debate, because corruption involves the public money, and whoever holds this public money is the executive. So when we say that there is corruption in government, the first step we should look at, this money is coming from which point? The money, we've seen money coming from the executive into the judiciary and the legislature so as to manipulate how these arms of government are working.
Money coming from the executive to the legislature, trying to change and pass bills.
Exactly, trying to change and pass bills in the National Assembly or manipulate their decisions. Even in the judiciary, we've seen the executive dangling some carrots, trying to sway how justice is being delivered. So even the president saying it's something that he should be ashamed of, because he holds the sword. He's the one who controls these levers of power.
But maybe he's saying this to tell the anti-corruption bodies that we have so many of, that you guys are not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yes, but just saying is not enough. He can direct the DCI, he can direct the police. There are also other independent commissions like EACC. if they can be let to just do their work without political interference, I think corruption can be tackled head.
You seem to be insinuating this political interruption in the operations of the EACC and the rest.
Yes, because when a leader differs with the government, that's when we see them being bundled to Integrity House. But those ones who are aligned with the executive, no matter how much they steal or no matter how much corruption they partake in,
yes,
they are never held to account.
Makoha, you come from Nakuru.
Yes, sir.
And then probably people from Nakuru are used to being arrested by the EACC. I don't know whether you know what.
Arrests are everywhere in Kenya.
What do you read in all these corruption stories?
Okay.
I mean, the president now telling parliament, you guys are corrupt. You and judiciary are corrupt.
It is ironical because he has been implicated himself. He has been implicated before. During the tenure he was serving as a member of parliament of Eldoret North by that time. And to begin with, I think there is a reason as to why we have 3 arms of government.
Yes.
If it were that these 3 arms of government are conjoined so that they can work as one, then we will not be having something called, the judiciary,
yes,
the legislature, and what? We have 3.
Yeah,
and the
it's
executive,
yes,
which is headed by the president, of course. So it is astonishing to learn that Raila Amolo Odinga, who is the leader of the opposition, and President Ruto are planning to hold that joint parliamentary meeting. And if you went to school, you will have a predetermined outcome of that particular meeting, because this is a person who wants to bring these members of parliament on board so that he can coerce them, so that he can tell them that once you are aligned to me or to Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, you have to sing our song. But you allow me to take a different perspective, because for me, I really believe that this time around it may not bear much fruits.
Before we go into that joint PG, let me bring you Wasonga.
Yes.
In the course of the week, members of parliament actually said they were going to summon Gadungu, the Auditor General, saying her reports are substandard. It is laughable.
Thank you, Fred. As it is now, the only person we can trust, apart from the normal opposition leader, is the Auditor General, who is telling us what is going on within the government, which money is lost. So the parliament trying to say that they are going to summon the Auditor General is just that they are trying to intimidate the Auditor General so that the Auditor General cannot speak. Something that is so laughable, just as you said. And it's at a time that we as Kenyans, we should come out and defend what we believe is right and not allow some forces to frustrate and try to intimidate authorities and the independent bodies like the Auditor General. You know, for the first time, talking of the corruption by the president, at least for the first time in so many years, I've never heard President William Ruto serving as a minister or even as a member of parliament or even as a deputy president talk about corruption. But at least for the first time, let's give it to him. He talked about corruption, and the word corruption came out of him, and he said that these people are corrupt. So at least for the first time, he did recognize that there is corruption. The big question is that, what I would want to talk with the president, my good president, being the man, a patriotic Kenyan, and we only have one president. I would want to remind my president that sometimes you set a thief to catch a thief. You are part of corruption. You know, you are a better corrupt person than any other person in Kenya. So
At least,
please help us.
That's an allegation, because he's never been taken. It has never been proved.
While serving as a minister of higher education, he was fired because of corruption-related cases. Serving as a minister of agriculture, he was also fired during the Grand Coalition government. All corruption-related cases. So I think he knows well how this corruption works and who is involved. So we'll only try to plead with him that help us fight this menace called corruption in this country. But saying that parliament, the only thing that I find somehow ridiculous and ironical is that the president saying that parliament is corrupt. The same president cannot explain to Kenyans where the millions of shillings member of parliament and his deputy president are going out throwing every week on every day coming from. Where do this money they go around the country in the name of empowerment come from? From which budget? Are they coming from individual pockets or is it part of the corrupt money he's talking about? He could have first started by telling Kenyans on being accountable of every shillings. The other day I saw him with 100 of youths at State House in the name of empowerment. Where did that money come from? Is it something within our budget or where is this? You know, because it's so much funny that you talk about corruption and whatever you are doing, I've got more questions than answers. Okay? How can a deputy president with so many members of parliament, including his personal assistant Farouk Kibet, with quite a number of MPs around him, hire choppers, spend almost 100 million to go and dish out 30 million or 50 million in the name of empowerment. And this thing happen nearly every weekend. It's only the last 1 week that I've not seen such kind of activities. The better part of last month and this month, that was the order of the day. Why can't he first come out and tell us where is this money coming from? He is the head of the state. He is the man with the executive powers.
Maybe he's a very kind gentleman. And you must admit, President William Ruto is not a poor. He's not a poor person.
Yes, but
he can easily, and I mean, some of his friends are very rich friends who can give money for him to, you know, the love of the country.
But let me tell you one thing, friend. He holds a public office. And as such is accountable to the people of Kenya. So it is only fair that when he talk about corruption, he should come and tell Kenyans, this is what I'm talking. He should lead by example.
I am saying...
Okay, we have three arms of government. Yes. As my brother says, we have the executive, headed by the president. We have the legislator, whereby we have the speaker there, and the judiciary, where we have the chief justice. Can he come out and tell us what is happening in the executive? Before he complain about the parliament and the judiciary, what is happening at the executive?
I am seeing here, yes. Gadongo herself is actually complaining. She's flagged high-level corruption within the CDF. She says 2.1 billion shillings unsupported bursary disbursements, 1.7 billion irregular distribution of bursary funds, 7.4 million misclassified bursary expenditures, 23 million misclassified expenditure, 21.5 million unauthorized budget bursary expenditure, 1.3 billion unsupported expenditure in 99 units, 1.3 billion unreconciled variances, 3.6 billion unsupported bank balances, 548 million unreturned to CDF board accounts, 427 million unconfirmed cash balances.
Fred,
these members of parliament say these ladies' audits are substandard.
Fred, just before
let me bring for the sake of balancing. I gave him a very short time to respond because he had already gone into the PG. I want to hear him on this issue of Gadongo.
Okay, first of all, I believe that all this is brought by our own president, William Samoei Ruto.
All what?
All these scandals and the monies that
but surely how is he involved in
that's where I'm coming.
CDF?
That's where I'm coming.
Yes.
You know, all corruption scandals are supposed to be fought by the ASCC.
Yes.
But you see, the person who is in charge of the ASCC, Dr. Oginde, is a man of God. He's so humble. You see...
You're saying the president can walk over him?
One thing you need to understand, my brother, is that people don't agree most of the time that our president, once he appoints you in his government, it is him who advises you on how to advise him or to do your job. Unfortunately, will he have left these civil servants to do their jobs independently the way or the manner in which they have qualified, then we will not be talking about this scandal. I believe 100% that Oginde is always under pressure, and he has to make a call to confirm on whether or not to take someone to court or not. You cannot tell me that since this government was formed, and the way we know how governors spend money poorly, it is only Natembeya who has been brought to the dock. And he was implicated in around 1.6 billion Kenyan shillings. Yet we have 47 counties with 47 governors. It should be remembered that UDA party of our president has got so many governors compared to other parties. And since also Raila Amolo Odinga joined him, it means about 70% of those people who are elected to be governors on ODM or Azimio la Umoja and UDA, and they are in the same government, these people can never be mentioned in a single scandal because they are supporting the president. Why? Because he believes that, or they believe that, should their names be mentioned in the corruption scandals, then it will mean he's going to lose support tomorrow. You see, it is quite unfortunate because as a nation, if each and every one of us was left to their departments to deal with it, then everyone will have done the work. What if the president will be calling EACC chair, Mr. Oginde, every week? What is your report? Have you come up with information concerning corruption scandals? We will not be hearing about this. But why is he silent? He wants to keep his job. Because
I've interacted with Oginde, and actually one of the things, Oginde is a very straight man. I don't think he would rather even throw away his job. I know one of the things that is happening within the government circles right now. What you see people being arrested for the fake certificate scandal, or all that pointed to Oginde.
A person faking a certificate, maybe they may have already used it to secure the job vacancy, yes, but there are so little, when we talk about this person trying to use the person is likely to be jobless. Yes. We are talking mostly about the people who are already in government, and they have the powers. Some of them are signatories. Yes. And they now come up with ways in which they can actually squander this public fund. Yes. Yes.
Before Sankara comes in, I think my brother is forgetting that talking of Natembeya, I think Natembeya is not the only one. For this, let me at least inform him that the former Migori governor, Okoth Obado, literally losing everything because of corruption after being found guilty.
He's basically, EACC has dealt with him.
Yes, but talking of the PG that you said and this corruption thing, I would think that coming to the PG on next week.
Well, before we go to PG, I want him to clear on Gadongo, and then we'll go to the PG.
Yes.
Okay, you see now we are seeing threats against Nancy Gathungu because she's implicating MPs in these CDF scandals. And from the outset, you'll realize that this is corruption fighting back. They are actually saying that this Nancy Gathungu is our obstacle at the table. She's preventing us from eating. Because if you look at that money, it's enough money to even actually build classrooms for every school, such that every pupil has a class and a desk to sit on.
And probably a laptop.
That's a lot of money. But now this money is being squandered, but they don't want to be oversighted. Because you know CDF, it's just like a slush fund for the MPs. Actually, they don't have a mandated body other than the Auditor General to look into how they are spending their money. You know, the president has parliamentarians, has MPs to check the executive. Even governors have MCS. But now the MPs, they have this CDF, which they operate it like a personal pass, where they just use that money the way they feel like. So them fighting Nancy Gathungu, it just shows how much corruption can be deadly when it's cornered.
And it's fighting back now.
Corruption is...
Because they are going to summon her
Yeah.
And I guess the intention is to discredit her.
Yeah, they just want to spoil her name and then discredit her, and within no time you'll realize that they have a replacement in mind.
Yes.
They want now someone who is more who they can manipulate, someone who can play ball such that they can steal, and then the person just keeps quiet and lets them keep the loot.
Okay.
That's what they want.
Let's now switch the ball. I mean, one of the parties that is supposed to have been acting as the opposition, you know, and ensuring that this thing does not happen is now next week having a PG meeting with UD. I'm talking about ODM. Raila Odinga is there, President William Ruto will be there, and they're having a PG to basically bring together their troops so that they can be able to achieve whatever it is they want to achieve in 2027. Raila has already made it clear that they will stand with President William Ruto until 2027. But all the signs are it might not just be until 2027.
It is past 2027. I listened to what President William Ruto was saying yesterday in Migori, and I saw the leaders there, what is happening in Omabe. So they will definitely have some kind of coalition going to that. But talking of the PG and the corruption, Raila once said that, and I supported him for this, that we should do away with the CDF, with the NGCDF.
Yes.
Because to me, it doesn't make any sense. It is not the duty. You know, what many Kenyans we fail to understand is the key responsibility of a member of parliament. The member of parliament is not the responsibility of a member of parliament to build schools, to build roads, to build police stations. No, it is not. This CDF has been used by these people to steal taxpayers' money into millions. The main thing, the main job that these parliament MPs across the country, and everybody who is true to himself, we know that the only thing that this CDF have been doing majorly is the bursary. So is it really making sense that why can't we just bring this money? And if it is true that President William Ruto and Raila Odinga want to join forces and fight corruption, this PG coming on next week, the first agenda will be to do away with the CDF. So that the money that has been channeled for this bursary should now be redirected to the Ministry of Education, and if possible we have free primary education from primary to secondary, so that we do away with this CDF. By doing away with CDF, we must have cut out this corruption. Today we will not be talking of this amount. Okay? So the duty of an MP is just to oversight. Let them sit in that parliament, do the budget making processes, do the allocation of all the projects that every MP wants to be done in his own constituency, make the oversight role and ensure that that money does not go into corruption. That is the work of an MP. And going to this PG, I think the PG coming up on next week is just the beginning of the formal working together between both.
We'll see a lot of them happening.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of them happening. I think they will now start to draft.
Do you see this bringing good leadership? Because
no, it is not. It is not. It is not. It is not bringing any good leadership. Because and I've said it many times in this show that even if you look at this so-called the united opposition and the broad-based government, they are just the same thing. Fred, the system that these people have created for years is not a system to help the poor Kenyans. This is a system that have been created to keep us poor and hungry, so that when they come in, they will give us handouts and we celebrate that 200 bob. Remember, if you give 200 bob to someone who does not know what is going to eat, that person will just celebrate. This is the system that we are fighting. And this system is, these people belong to the same system. Both the united opposition and the broad-based government, they belong to that same system. Look at this PG that is coming up. What is new that they are going to bring on the table? Do you think anything new? They are the same faces, same ideas, same ideologies for ages and ages. What these people do, they will just form and reform, organize themselves each and every election cycle. Okay? Today we have Mudavadi and Raila and Ruto in one side.
Yes.
The other side we have Kalonzo, Rigathi Gachagua and Eugene on the other side.
Yes.
In 2022, Kalonzo and Raila were on one side and Rigathi Gachagua and Ruto were on the other side.
Ford Kenya is in this government.
Yes, Ford Kenya.
And he's
so there is nothing new, Fred.
He's a Ford Kenya leader in Kasarani. Yeah. So is this coming together going to help bring good leadership? I listened to you, and probably you and your chair speak differently, in the sense that, you know, when Ford Kenya is speaking this, when I listen to you, you have a completely different view of what leadership is all about. So, is your party, obviously your party is going to be part of this, because this PG is bringing together UDA, ODM, and you're also part of the whole thing.
Yes, you know, Fred, a political party is something that it's like a vehicle. People who are headed to the same direction, they board the same vehicle. And as you all know, Ford Kenya is a party that fought for democracy in this country. Even in the name, it's a forum for the restoration of democracy. So, Ford Kenya stands for democracy. Ford Kenya stands for the liberation of the people. And so whenever we are faced by headwinds such that the ones we are having right now, because our party leader is in government, and now he's not speaking the language of the common mwananchi, even we, the party members, actually have the brains of our own. We can, not necessarily that when I belong to Ford Kenya party,
you have to parrot Ford Kenya.
I must parrot whatever the party leader is saying. Sometimes I can differ with him. So in some instances, I don't actually agree with what he's saying. Because, you know, where the country is right now, it requires bold ideas and visionary people who can actually take this country to the next level. And if we continue with the thinking of the past, where the party leaders' word were final, then it means that we will be headed in the wrong direction. That's why you feel sometimes when I speak my mind, it could be different from the party leader's mind. But you know, politics is a game of interest. Wherever my interest and the people's interest will take me, if they will mean that maybe the party leader, we are not with him in the right state of mind, maybe at some point we can differ. But right now, I'm still in the party.
But do you see these mergers bringing good leadership? Because this show is about leadership.
Yes.
Do you see this bringing good leadership?
Okay, in my own opinion, I think.
Or maybe let me paraphrase it.
Yes.
Because this merger has been there.
Yeah.
If you were to audit what the current government, which includes your party,
yes,
what they've been able to do so far, would you consider that good leadership? And on a rate of 0 to 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how would you rate you guys in as far as this leadership is concerned?
Okay, in the first instance, this government is not headed in the good direction. That's why some of us are very vocal about it. We are saying that the country needs a reset. And this is actually because many things are failing. You look at the healthcare system, it's collapsing. The education system is not good. Even unemployment is at its highest. The business environment is not good for people to do business and thrive. Actually, very many things are not doing well, including our foreign affairs.
Yes.
So it's something that we actually give the president. He has 2 years. He can change some things, but as from the look of things, he seems to have no idea of how this country needs to be.
So how
taken.
Rate him, rate the government.
Okay, I can rate it at 6.
But 6 is very good. With 2 years to go.
It's not very good, because 6, it means that you are just above average.
Yes.
Just above average.
And the term is not yet done.
Yeah, the term is not yet done.
So maybe by the end of the time we will rate them 8.
Yeah, he'll be at 8 or 10.
if he close, because he still got time. And looking at,
how would you rate the government?
I'll give it 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Yes.
Hey, you're being too harsh. At least there has to be some things that have
There's
happened.
something that have happened.
Yes.
You'll have asked me why I've
Yes,
given it.
why?
You should not ask me so that I give it
Yes.
the one that you prefer.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got my own reasons. I give it 2 out of 10 because most of the promises have not been, fulfilled, or rather done in the manner that you and me were expecting. You realize that for the first time in history, if you asked me, one of the only genuine promise that our president has made and fulfilled is the one for Harambee Stars. That if you win this game against these foreigners, you are going to get 1 million Kenyan shillings, and indeed, you awarded them 1 million Kenyan shillings.
Oh, come
No,
on.
he has three promises.
No, let me,
No, he has 3 promises.
I'm headed there.
Yes.
We are also believing that the 2.5 years promise, if he delivers, then he's going to gain our trust from there as we move forward.
My brother Makwa is forgetting the Kiptum.
What if whatever he has just done to Harambee Stars is the same thing he has been doing since the time he told us that once he put down the Bible, he will be doing a lot of developments in our country, Kenya. Yesterday I was at Jacaranda here. Some of the youth were contemplating about the just concluded empowerment program that was carried out in a State House. And some were saying that they were being given one motorbike, 20 people, you see, and they were asking themselves, how are we going to operate with this one? Even if we are to open an account to save this money. One motorbike for 15 to 20 people is something so little. That is not empowerment. And then I also challenged them that if we are talking about the real empowerment, what if the president, because has been mentioning housing units every now and then, the other day he was in Kiambu and all that, what if he came up with an industry here in Jacaranda that specifically deals with the production of steel doors and windows? And
why steel doors and windows?
Because of the housing that is going on, so that we not only create employment to the people who are masonries and the people wa mjengo, because some of us are also maybe dealing with the Juakali artisanry. So with that one around, it is not only going to create job to the people who has the skills to come up or mold the door, but there are so many jobs that are going to be created.
Yes.
That is some of the things that I wanted us to see the government doing for us, actually to say that we have gained. Where did you see on earth a new president coming, then he finds that students are not paying for the examination, then through the minister that he has appointed, brings to the attention of the parents that now from now henceforth, you must be informed that the monies that were catering for the free education is no longer enough for all the students. And that is to say it will drop all the way from 22,000 to 16,000. That is a miss. You see the stories going on in the health sector. The other day, I saw the Ruto supporter calling Macarena. He was diagnosed and admitted in one of the hospitals in Kenya. He came out complaining about the failure of SHA actually to stand for him during the time of need. Now, with the teachers
and he had been supporting it.
Up to now, for our teachers in the education sector, they are crying for that. The other day, the president stood and said that they had added the money. Some of them were getting as low as 87 shillings, 336 shillings.
As I finish, Sankara to choke to death.
Let me finish, my brother.
Yeah.
Now, with that an amount of money, and some teachers are commuting. Let's just give an example for here in Nairobi. If you are residing from within this area and you have to go to Nairobi, we know that Nairobi fare normally changes with the time. this teacher who is not staying in the school that he teaches, a school like maybe Uderu Girls, it will not be sustainable for such a teacher. And at the same time, you are being told that during the tenure of President Ruto, there are also schools which are gaining from the government coffers and they are not registered, they are not recognizable.
So basically, you don't rate them. You said 2 and...
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Yeah, because education is the backbone of everything in a society that is being governed. Anywhere in the world, not only in Kenya.
Yes.
If I'm mentioning about the poor funding model, my brother, I'm talking of teachers being motivated with the 87 shillings. I'm talking about SHA. It is only the other day I heard the minister say that they'll do away with the OTP thing. But what about the amount that caters for the sickness? Because there is a time we had that a child by the name Ariane was taken to India for an operation. Sadly, she passed. But the only money out of 1.6 that the government came out to support was only 23,000. You see, that is a very small amount of money for me to convince friends that the healthcare system in our country, Kenya, is on top.
Let me bring Wasonga. The rating, how would you rate
I'll
this
give them
government?
4.5.
4.5?
Yes.
Okay.
At least, if there is something that President William Ruto have really tried, is the housing finance.
The funding of the affordable housing.
The affordable housing, sorry. On that he has really tried. I saw him yesterday launching affordable housing in my home constituency. So
it has worked because it came to your home constituency.
No, not that. At least if you go across the country, you'll listen to affordable housing. If of all the many promises he has made, I think for the housing, for the affordable housing, he has scored. Even here in Kajiado North, he has also is coming to launch some houses there. So I think for the housing, affordable housing, that one he has done some good job. On health, it's a wait and see. I can't see anything working because there's maybe it's still peaking. Just let's try to give it time. Education is scrambling. In fact, education is even worse. Teachers are complaining, students are complaining, even the parents are complaining. So the education sector, nothing. The RMS at least he promised that, he delivered. And again, what my brother forgets to say is that also he delivered on the ASLA fund. At least everybody was getting 500 cities. You know, that one is...
How much can 500 do, my brother, even if you are
given 3 times? No, if you want, now, I'm not trying like I'm supporting. Did you listen to the PS Mogeni talking about 500? Then you understand where the problem comes from.
Okay, I now get you.
He also delivered on the house. You know, for the record, William Ruto built an house for that late Kiptum, a record 7 days. So at least for the 3 delivered. But again,
but those were not election promises.
But again, if you look at how this country, Fred, if you look at how this country is running, we are running the wrong direction. Fred, we are in a country Fred, we are in a country whereby thousands of students graduate from our learning institutions every day. But the government does not have any proper plan that we can put in place to ensure that these youths are empowered. Fred, today we are looking at this empowerment going on across the country, mostly from the executive. I can challenge you here that in the next 6 months, 9 months, can we sit and have an audit and say that this is the amount that was spent in the empowerment, even if it is 100 million. Now, how have this 100 million changed the life of Kenyans? I can promise you there will be nothing. How many companies have been built by this generation? As we speak today, just before my brother Sankara came in, as we speak today, there is Devolution Conference in Homa Bay County. How many new companies have been built in Homa Bay County? Or even in the entire Lunyans? Ruto have visited Homa Bay County the many times compared to any other counties in this country. But is there anything new, apart from those PR things we see on movies and everything? Most of this project we are seeing here done on Homa Bay was started by the previous regime.
Okay.
So because we are going the wrong direction.
Gladys Wanga will be the new thing. Probably Gladys will be the running mate.
Okay, she might be, and
because of the PR and this marriage between ODM just to secure a second term.
My closing comments about the PG, because you know that this is now making the political pact between UDA and ODM formalized. This is an affront to democracy because, as our constitution envisioned, the parliament is supposed to be the oversight body over the executive. But now we see the emasculation of the parliament by them being co-opted into the gravy train, which is the executive.
Yes.
Now the president is bringing his team UDA. The former prime minister is also bringing his team ODM into government. By the virtue that they are now working with the executive, it means that their power to oversight the executive has been reduced greatly.
Yes.
And this is a very big problem, such that even you find problems like how money is being dished around. You know, parliament is the highest policy-making institution on the land. So these things like empowerment, they should be done through policy interventions. We saw President Kibaki, when he wanted to empower border borders, he reduced taxes on border borders, such that everyone throughout the country, if you are interested in buying a motorbike, the price had reduced by half. So instead of the president buying motorcycles and dishing them out, this is just institutionalized tokenism, which will not help this country in any way. What we need are policy interventions through parliament. If you want to empower Mama Mboga, help them grow their business. If you want to empower students, put money into capitation. If you want people to be employed, build a good environment for business.
Yes. Because of time, your closing comments.
Okay, what I want to say is that the government should understand that besides having the machinery maybe to run the country in the manner that they need, for a country to thrive and I mean make people happy, that means we must uphold the rule of the law. And if I were the president, I will also ensure that I'm leaving each docket to the person I chose to work for it. And when I say so, I mean I also only appoint a person who is qualified in a given area. You cannot have a person in office whom you want to control, and the person started something at the university, they are qualified, but they are working under your instruction, and you are looking forward to see good results come out of it. The healthy docket, people are dying out there. It's only that my family or yours is not affected. That's why we are not aware. But you find a person who is in that docket like Duale, we have never heard that the records indicate he was a nurse or a clinical officer. So how does such like a docket fit a person of the caliber of Duale? And for the few who had started also were being appointed based on friendship. This country can actually thrive if we choose qualified people like the way the former President Kibaki was doing. He had good advisors. He was not advising people on how to advise him, and people were contented with the kind of service delivery that was being meted on Kenyans. Because we still need this country after Ruto has gone out of power later on. All
right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your sentiments. Very interesting thing. Leadership is everything in this country and in any institution. And if we put leadership in the right place, we get the right people in the right place, then things will change. And so whatever is happening right now, you be the judge, be the one who will decide, because you're the employer of these guys. They're not the ones employing you. So 2027, as we go towards that direction, just know that you are the one who has the power to decide how this country will be governed. If you're happy, continue. If you're not, well, make the changes that you deserve and bring the right people in the right places. I always say, all of them, majority of the leaders we have today have had their opportunities. Most of them are just the same. One term, it's a cry that is being made by people who've been in government. Two-term is a statement that is being made by people who are in government, who are supposed to be doing whatever. No term is a statement that is being done, again, by people who are interested in getting there. And most of them, when they get there, they change. So please, do your research, get to know some of these people. There are by-elections that are supposed to be coming in November. Find out, how do these people treat their mother back home? How do they treat their siblings? Because the way they treat their mother, their siblings, and their neighbors is the way they are going to treat you. And if that guy doesn't treat his people well, wacha kae huko nje. Sindio? That's how leadership is done. God bless you. Do have yourself a lovely day.